Okay, let's get into this. We often discuss disrespect, right? The sort of moral weight it carries.
Mm-hmm.
But imagine for a second, what if disrespect wasn't just a concept or, some nasty words?
Okay.
What if it was something physical, a destructive force that could actually extinguish your future?
That's a powerful way to put it. And that idea is pretty much the launching point for the sources we're looking at today.
Right.
This deep dive is this amazing mix of ancient wisdom and something, well, frankly bizarre. We're digging into Proverbs 20.20.
Okay.
But seen through this incredibly visual, allegorical story, it's apparently used as a memory tool, a mnemonic in some Japanese teaching contexts.
A mnemonic for Proverbs? That's wild.
It is. And the aim isn't just, learn the lesson.
Right.
It's designed to burn the consequences into your memory, make them unforgettable.
So it takes this ancient warning and turns it into almost a surreal little play.
Exactly.
And the proverb itself is pretty stark. The one who disrespects his father or mother, their lamp will be extinguished in the deepest darkness.
Stark is the word. And what's interesting is how the source material we looked at really digs into the meaning of disrespects.
Yeah, I noticed that. It wasn't just curses.
No, not at all. The focus is more on lightly regarding, or the Japanese term used is karanzu rumano. It's about treating your parents like they're insignificant, like trash almost.
Which is a much deeper, colder kind of insult in some ways.
Definitely. And to make these parts stick, the disrespect, the parents, the consequence, the story uses this really odd cast. Forget people. We've got a rebellious vixen,
Okay.
a frog who's a father,
Yeah.
and a Holstein cow as the mother.
A vixen, a frog, and a Holstein.
Seriously, it immediately makes you pause, right? Like, why those animals?
Yeah, it definitely grabs your attention. It's weird, maybe a bit unsettling, but you want to know why.
And that's the mnemonic hook. That why makes it stick.
All right, so let's stage this little drama. It starts in a family living room, you said.
Yep, ordinary living room. But the central figure, the troublemaker, is this vixen yar. And the source even labels her 20, like for the verse number, Proverbs 20.20.
Clever. So she embodies the verse, in a way. What's she doing?
Well, she's holding this thing the source calls a pompous nozzle nērô. It sounds quite imposing.
A pompous no.
And yeah, her whole stance, her look, it's pure defiance. She's clearly about to do something aggressive, symbolically speaking.
And this is where the disrespect happens.
This is it. She pulls the trigger on this nozzle, and what comes out isn't water or paint or anything normal. It's just this explosion of uncountable paper scraps. They just blast across the room.
Paper scraps, like trash.
Exactly like trash. And that's the core of the symbolism, you see. The mnemonic design is linking the abstract idea, disrespect, to something physical.
So the paper scraps are the disrespect.
Precisely. They're the physical form of the insult. It's like she's literally calling her parents paper trash, worthless, disposable, by showering them in it.
Wow. That's incredibly visual, turning that inner feeling of contempt into an actual physical attack.
And it connects right back to the Hebrew. The word for someone who curses or reviles, məqallēl.
Yeah.
One of the visual mnemonics associated with that word, which this Japanese story clearly builds on, is literally a crumpled piece of paper.
No way. So the story just takes that mnemonic image and weaponizes it.
Pretty much. It visualizes the act of making light of someone or crumpling their worth as an actual attack with crumpled stuff, paper trash. You really can't miss the connection once you see it.
Okay, so that's the attack, the paper scraps flying. What about the parents, the targets, the frog and the Holstein?
Right. Their reactions are key. Let's start with the father. In Hebrew, his father. In the story, he's symbolized by a frog.
The frog father.
Yeah.
How does he react to being showered in paper trash?
It's devastatingly quiet. The source says he's stunned.
Huh.
Just completely shocked, resting his cheek on his hand, He's passive, just sunk in sorrow. Like he doesn't even know how to react to this betrayal from his daughter.
But why a frog? It still seems like such a strange choice for a father figure.
It does, but that's the mnemonic again. Apparently, the association for frog can be the stereotypical father with a big mustache, or maybe more simply, a frog.
Because?
Because a frog is the father of the tadpole. It's a simple, maybe slightly absurd biological link.
Huh. Okay.
But the story uses the frog's nature, right? Frogs often just sit quietly. So when attacked, his reaction isn't rage. It's this deep, paralyzing shock. It conveys this crushing grief that's just stuck inside him.
That actually makes the scene feel much heavier than if he'd yelled or something. It's this arrested sorrow.
Exactly. Now, the mother, Nērô and his mother. She's the Holstein cow.
The Holstein. And her reaction, is it different?
Oh, very different.
Yeah.
This is where you see the active pain. The source describes her with tears welling up in her eyes. She can't stop crying. And choosing a Holstein, a symbol of nurturing, of motherhood, it just amplifies the hurt. You know, she's the caregiver, the source of love.
And the source even says her heart is crumpled like the paper scraps.
Yeah, that detail is brutal. It's not just an insult hitting her from the outside. It's like her very nature, her loving core, is being twisted and thrown away by the child she raised.
And the Holstein choice itself is mnemonic, too.
It is. The link for wə:immô is often a Holstein cow because, well, in farming context, they're the mother cows, right? Associated with milk, nurturing.
Makes sense.
So showing this universal symbol of gentle motherhood, just weeping, it's designed to hit you emotionally, make you feel the impact of that disrespect. It's really quite calculated.
Okay, so we have the defiant vixen attacking with paper trash. The frog father is paralyzed in shock. The Holstein mother is weeping, her heart crumpled. The scene is set. What happens next, according to the proverb? The lamp goes out.
Exactly. Now the focus shifts to the center of the room, to the symbol of the family's hope and protection. The lamp, or nērô in Hebrew.
And what does that look like in the story?
It's visualized as a large candle, just burning silently there. This isn't just for light, though. The source calls it a guardian fire.
A guardian fire.
Yeah, like the family's inner light, its moral center. It's supposed to protect the home, ward off evil. And the mnemonic is simple enough. Nērô is a candle.
Okay. And the vixen's actions, the paper scraps, they extinguish it.
Immediately. It's cause and effect, swift and harsh. As the scraps, the disrespect made physical, hit that sacred flame.
Poof.
Poof. It's instantly extinguished. The Hebrew word is yidґaḳ, and the room is suddenly plunged into this eerie dimness going, "Urgh!" The center is gone.
So disrespect the source of your life. You extinguish the light of your life. That's the message.
That's the core of it. You put out respect, you put out hope, you put out protection, nērô. And the mnemonic for yidґaḳ is naturally an extinguished candle. Simple link.
But the proverb doesn't just say the lamp is extinguished. It's extinguished in the deepest darkness. What does that look like?
Now here's where it gets really interesting and, frankly, pretty terrifying. The Hebrew term for this deepest darkness is beʻēšûn.
Beʻēšûn, okay.
And the sources we read pointed out something crucial. The literal meaning isn't just very dark. It's in the pupil of the eye.
Wait, what? In the pupil of the eye?
Exactly. Chilling, right?
Yeah.
That one detail completely reframes the consequence. The darkness isn't just an absence of light, it's active. It's seeing.
So if your lamp goes out, you're not just lost in the dark. You're being watched from the dark.
That's the implication. The judgment isn't just happening to you passively, it's coming from something that sees you.
Okay, that is much creepier. How does the story visualize that?
Oh, it goes full horror movie. As the candle dies, the dimness isn't static. The darkness on the floor itself starts to move. The source says it begins to squirm.
The floor starts squirming.
Yeah, like it's alive. And then right in the middle of the floor, a gigantic pupil starts to open. Slowly. Unavoidably.
A giant eye opening in the floor.
A giant pupil, specifically. Right. It is the beʻēšûn, the deep darkness, and it's the mnemonic image for that word, too.
Wow.
It symbolizes this unearthly awareness, like some cosmic judge has been watching the whole thing, the disrespect, the sorrow, and now it's intervening.
So the consequence isn't just family breakdown, it's attracting this external, maybe malevolent attention. By disrespecting your parents, you open a door.
That seems to be the terrifying visual argument, yes. You've basically invited this watching abyss into your home through your actions.
That is profoundly unsettling. It takes it way beyond just a moral lesson.
It really does. It touches on that philosophical idea, you know. If the pupil is how the world gets in visually, then this deepest darkness isn't just being cut off from light. It's being actively observed, maybe even consumed by something far bigger than the family drama. It's cosmological judgment.
Okay, so the pupil opens. What happens then? Does it just watch?
No, it delivers the final blow. This terrifying pupil becomes the gateway to what the proverb calls bottomless darkness, the Hebrew ushit.
The shit. And the mnemonic for that one?
A solar eclipse, total darkness, the complete removal of light.
Fitting. So what happens to the vixen?
The judgment is swift. The story says some unseen force reaches out from that pupil, from the yidґaḳ.
Oh, man.
It grabs the vixen's feet and just starts dragging her down into the pupil, into the darkness.
Wow.
The last thing you see is her shock as she disappears. It's the final, stark illustration of cause and effect. The source uses the term "hiches," inevitable retribution. The moral accounts are settled. Coldly, severely.
Good grief, that is memorable. Definitely unforgettable.
You wouldn't forget seeing that, would you?
Not a chance. So bringing it all together then, what's the big takeaway from this allegorical horror show?
I think it's about how powerfully this story maps the consequences.
Yeah.
It makes it crystal clear. You extinguish respect, the paper scraps. You directly extinguish your own light, your hope, nērô, the candle.
And that extinguishing leads to something far worse than just being alone in the dark.
Exactly. It leads to being seen, judged, and consumed by beʻīšûn, the pupil of the eye darkness, which opens into yidґaḳ, the bottomless void.
It's pedagogical shock treatment, basically. Using these bizarre animals, vixen, frog, Holstein, it gets past your rational defenses and hits you emotionally, makes the moral stakes feel incredibly real and visceral.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You remember the crying Holstein, the stunned frog,
Yeah.
and you definitely remember that giant eye opening up. It makes the proverb visceral.
And that specific detail, beʻīšûn, as in the pupil of the eye, that feels like the real kicker here.
I think so too. It leaves you with this really provocative thought, doesn't it?
Yeah. If the ultimate penalty for this kind of fundamental disrespect isn't just losing your way, but being watched and judged by some vast, dark awareness, it makes you wonder what other ancient wisdom, what other warnings about how we should live might be hidden behind similarly strange, potent visual metaphors, things we might dismiss as just weird stories.
Exactly. How much depth is encoded in imagery that seems, on the surface, just bizarre? This deep dive certainly shows how far storytellers will go to make sure a crucial lesson isn't just heard, but felt and remembered.